Hi, everyone. Just having slight technical difficulty today. Never easy. Let's see, get on the right page. Here we go. All right, let me see if we're on. We are on over here. Okay, I'm going to put on my picture of today. So we're going to be working on these ornaments that I have here, but I wanted to show you that I have my countdown to Christmas tree up. And I know I said earlier we would stream this on the Continental Club page, but for some reason, I'm not being able to put it on that page. So that's kind of weird. Sometimes it doesn't allow a third party, so that for me is a third party. So hopefully, I did post over at the Continental Club for people to come over here. Let me go over there one more time. Well, hopefully people will see it. Maybe someone else will check for me to make sure. Before I put the camera on, let me go here to the Continental Club. And, well, it's at the top. So there we go. And back to here. All right, I have my comments up, so you're welcome to comment. And I will get the camera on in just a moment. There we go. Okay, I've got my comments up. Oh, Marty, thank you for finding me. All right, let me put the camera on and here we go. All right, everyone. I don't know why it's looks a little dark for some reason. I don't know why. Well, anyways, welcome to Live with Janome. Sorry about the little confusion. For some reason, I can only stream in two places. So the Janome main page here, Janome Sewing Machines page, and to YouTube. For some reason, I cannot stream on two. Oh, that light might help. On another platform. For some reason, it's not allowing me to do that. I don't know why. But I do have my ornaments up here in the back. So I'm going to turn my camera back on and go back there and talk about those just a little bit. And then I'll show you how I created them. So I'm going to pull my camera in closer. Hopefully there won't be a disaster with that. Here we go. I'm going to get in close like this. And then maybe I can zoom a little bit. Sometimes my zoom works really well and other times it doesn't. There we go. All right. So these are freestanding lace, and it's probably easier if I just take it off and bring it closer so you can see. This one here was made from, I have my 2 layers of netting that I created, and then I used the Create Floral Vine on here to create that one. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then this one, and you'll notice that little bit of sparkle. This one here, I'll take it off, bring it closer. They all have a little thing at the top. Get it in front of the camera. There we go. And if you can see, I'm going to try to turn it so you can see this. It's hard to see the sparkle that's in there. Let me see if I hold it back here. Yeah, it doesn't want to show. But what I did is I used my multicolor variegated thread first, and then for the bottom layer. And then on the top layer, I used this here. This is a metallic thread from Marathon. I don't know what it's called, but I'll tell you the number. It's 3015. So if you are looking for that, it's from Marathon. And it does a really nice, it's really hard to show you can see a little bit of the sparkle. Even from back here, you can see these have a little sparkle. I used it on these. This one over here, I did not use it on. You can see it has quite a different look to it on there. So let me put this one back up. And then I did one with little trees on it here. And you can see those are lace, you can see through them. Once you get the basic lace part down, it's really easy to add the others. Now this has 2 layers of the gold, but it didn't have, and that's just regular gold embroidery thread. It doesn't have any metallic to it. There we go. All right, so let me put the camera back on the other side. And oh, it's a wet and windy northern. Yesterday we had big winds here. I'm on the East Coast, and we had huge winds. Things on our deck were getting blown around. Trees, not in our neighborhood, but in Pennsylvania, some trees were blown down. A light pole came down. So it was pretty crazy yesterday with the wind blowing everything around. Today, not so bad. Not so bad today. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put and I'm going to bring these closer here. So if I have to hold them up in front of the camera, I can. That would work a little bit better for me. And I'm going to put the software on and show you how I created these. So let me go back here to the software, and then hang on one second as I get, there we go. All right, so what I did is I have my USB stick open here. I'm going to move this little guy here, and just so you can see it in my browser, I like to use, let me go back to welcome. I like to use the browse function down here. And the reason I like that is right for this. When I open a folder, it shows all my designs rather than one at a time. So today I have my, this is my USB stick in my Mac, and then these are the different folders in there, and then we have the tree ornament one open right here. And then if I click on that, it'll show me all the other folders that are in there. I don't have to go back over to the browser. I can just click here. So we're looking at tree ornaments today. So as I said, I created all of these, and I'm going to give you a quick look up close of what they are. Let me see. This one will work, I guess. And we'll go up close. So I have one I did with these round little balls, but instead on the one that I actually stitched, I stitched this one with the trees. And I'll show you how easily to put that in. The other one, let me close this one. The other one, this one here. There we go. Here, these are the four that I did. And then I did one with multi-trees all over it. And I'll show you how to do that. The one that's going to be really interesting to do is the one here. It looks like it's empty. This is the one with the floral vine on it. And let me open that to show you. There we go. We'll go in close like that. So that's the floral vine. And on this one, I haven't moved my little dots to the front. You can leave them behind the vine or in front of the vine. So I have them back there at the moment, but I'll show you how to do that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open a new page and show you how to create the actual, what I like to call the base for your freestanding lace. Okay. And this is important, I think, to learn this part of it. It's simple. When you think about it, it's very, very simple. It's 2 layers of net fill, and they're different angle. One is just at the 0 angle, and one is at 45. So I start out with my shapes tool over here, and I'm going to click on shift and drag, and it should give me, let me see. Sometimes when I do it, it gives me the perfect circle. I think I have to start, there we go. I have to start first, then hit the shift. Let me get rid of these other ones because I don't need them. You have to decide too how big your circles are going, where you're going to start. So for my smaller ones, I went with, these are like 2 inches. So I'm at about 2 inches here, but let's make it, let's take that out, and I'm going to put this one up here at 2.0. And I'm in inches, and this one here is going to be 2.0, just so we're back to equal. There we go. And I'm just going to check proportional again, just so it's there. And let me get in close. So I have 2 colors here. I have an outline and a fill. I'm not going to use the outline here. I'm going to make one later. So I'm going to delete it here, and that just makes it easier when you do that. Hi, Shirley. I'm glad you found me. I know I had to switch over. Hopefully people saw my post over on the Continental Club page, and they're heading over here. Sorry for that confusion. Okay, so to make the net fill, I have one color in here. Right over here in my properties, I'm going to be under fill, and right here is net fill. And I'm going to use the preset settings that are right here. It's at 0.07, well, that's my cell size, 0.079 IN. If you're in millimeter, this I think is the default. So if you want to make sure, you can put 0.079 IN, even though you're in millimeter, it'll auto convert for you. I do that back and forth. And then down here is remove overlaps. And I'm just going to change it to never right away. Then I don't have to worry about it as I go along. The next thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to make this a different color. I think I'm going to make it this green. And then I'm going to copy paste it. So you could copy paste it, or you could use the duplicate here. Duplicate will keep it right in order. Sometimes I'd prefer it to drop to the bottom of the list. So, but duplicate will keep things in order. I'm going to move around, so I don't really want them to be that way. I want to be able to move them a little easier. So my top layer, I'm looking for, oh, let's do this color here. I'm going to use this nice lime color for my top. And here I'm going to change my cell size. I'm going to put in 0.055 IN. And then over here under the angle, I'm going to put that 45. And you can see, I'm going to move in close. You can see it made a nice net fill for the base of my piece. Now, before I changed it, you can also do make plaid things here as well, using the cell size of your net fill as you layer it. That's how you can make different plaids. It's kind of fun to do that. So now I have the base of my design. Now I can go ahead and add whatever I want to this as I go along. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how to do, well, first of all, let's just go get one of my trees so I can show you what they look like. Let me go out here. Wait a minute, this one here, and go to, oh, it should be in here. Where's my little, oh, here we go, abstract trees. There we go. So these are SVG files from my favorite place, Daily Art Hub. And that's where I've got that little curly tree right here. So I'm going to open that one first. And here it is. I pretty much liked this just the way it is. See how it came in? It did come in as a, let's select it, a step fill. So I'm going to make it a satin. Let me get this last part in there. So I'm going to turn it into a satin. And once I do that, I'm going to look at it really close to see if I need to fix anything. And right here, there's some odd things happening where these two are coming together. If I do edit nodes, sometimes I can move a node and it makes things look good, or I can use the stitch flow and I could do direction, and there we go, and try to get things working a little bit nicer. So maybe here, I don't think I like that. There we go, maybe like that. So you can make a few changes using your stitch flow. So I always look close in what I'm doing, and I'm actually going to make this pretty small, but it's all ready to go. So I'm just going to take it and copy it to the other page. There's my copy, and we're over here, and then I'm going to do paste, and then I'm going to go find it down here, and it's much too big for my circle, right? So I'm just going to use my corners, and I'm going to drag it down like this, and then I'm going to see, is that going to fit a little bit smaller? There we go. Let's go in here close so we can see. Sometimes when you go in, there it is. It's a bit of a light stitching. I would probably go back in and make some changes, but I just want to show you. I'm going to put it right on top of here, like that. There it is. And I'm going to reorder how it stitches in just a minute. But I want you to notice it did not make any holes here. And that's because my remove overlaps is at never. So anything we lay on top of this is not going to make a hole in it if you set this at never. So that's important to remember, that to have that set that way. Now I'm just going to move the star. This has to be ungrouped, so I'm going to ungroup it. When you copy paste, it stays grouped. I'm going to slide the star up just one so that it'll stitch the base, the star, and then it'll start stitching this tree. And the tree, I want it to stitch from bottom to top. I'm going to make it all one color as well. So there's that section. This little section is here. So I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to make them. So I'm hitting, clicking the first one and hitting shift and taking the last one. And I'm going to turn it into this color right here. So they're all one color. It's just there. That looks so much better than all those different colors. And if I change up here from the parts of my design to the colors, you can see how those colors group together. So right now I have 4 color changes. I'm going to put that back on the parts. Now, the 2 last things I need to do. One is I need to put that little hanger up here, and I need to give it a border. So let me show you on the ornament. I use this little thing here, and I'm going to copy paste this over to the other side, just so that we have it over there. And you could make this any way you like. I got to figure out where it is on this page. And how I did this, you can see it's 2 pieces. I did a rectangle for this one. So over in my shapes, I went to rectangle and I just drew a rectangle about that size. And then I deleted the outline from down here using my used colors. I just want the inside. This one here, let me ungroup it too. You can see on this one, I used a pattern and my underlay is at zigzag plus. Okay, so it has an outer line and some inner line. So I'm going to select this one. Which pattern was that? Wool 1. So I'm going to go back into patterns. Up here, I'm just going to put a W, and I used wool number 1 right there. And I want to change the underlay. See how the underlay is that one there? I want to go to underlay. Oops, wait a minute. I've got to change that to a satin and go to wool. Sorry. Underlays are different under your satin, or there we go. And my underlay is a zigzag plus. So you would choose an underlay under here. Sometimes it needs a bit more. So I'll do cross plus just to, so it's because it's going to hang off of here a little bit. You want to give it enough so that it holds on right there. And then of course you can make it the gold color if you want it. So I'm just going to click here and make it gold. Let me get this one out of the way. And I'm going to put it here. But my little circle is going to be behind this, and I'm going to change the height of it in just a minute to show you what I mean with the height. To do this little part again, I just went to my shapes, ellipse, and here I did a bit of an oval like this. And this one here, when I selected it, I deleted the inside. I kept the outside. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. I made it a satin serial. This one here is 0.059 for the width. That's inches, 059 IN for the width of the stitch. And then I did change under here. You can see I used cross plus for my underlay. You can see here there's only 1 row of underlay here, so that's not going to help it. So we really need the cross plus. That'll give it a lot of extra, and then it's going to sit right behind here. So I'll have to move it. This is going to have to come down in that order, and then I'm going to move these 2 out of to the bottom as well, so they'll be out of the way of our order. There we go. So it's going to stitch that tree and the star, then it'll stitch the red part and then this part here. But I still need to put an outline, and this actually needs to be a little skinnier like this. And I'll probably move it all down. I'm going to go back to the top and I'm going to select the last green one, and I'm going to come up here to convert auto border to the outside, 1 repeat, remove holes, satin serial, and I have it preset at 0.079 IN. I think that's That might be 2.0 mm. We'll double check in a minute. Let me see if I can put it in here. It's at 2.0 mm. And that, yeah, that is 079. So there is my outline. So that has to be, I like it to be between these two pieces here. Oh, the wrong ones. Let's make it up one more time. And I'm going to make that outline a different color. I'm going to make it this really dark green I don't think we've used yet. There we go. All right. One of the things, I like the little closure to look like it's grasping on, it's like a little clip on the top of there. Oh, I think we have a question here, but we'd have to have it. I can't answer the questions because they're not, they're in French. So I'll have to come back afterwards and do a translate so I can do it there. This one here would come down like this. So you'd have it in there. So now look what we have. Let me delete this one because it's just going to get in the way of stuff. So our order of stitching is you're going to stitch the base layer, the second layer. I did the star first, then the whole tree. And then after the tree, we stitch the little holder, then the outline, and then this part of is the finishing one. This way the little holder is underneath this part here and held in place a little bit better. So once you have this base, you can you can pretty much use this all the time. So let me go ahead and I'm going to keep that base. So I'm going to do a copy paste. I'm going to move it to the side. And then what I'm going to do here is ungroup this one. And then I'm going to delete the tree here and the star. And then I'm just going to keep this part, copy this, and I'm going to go to a new page so I can show you the next one. All right. Did we get all of it? We did. Okay. And here I have to ungroup it so we can work with it. And I'll open up my sequence window. There we go. So we can see the parts. And when I select one, right, they're not selected together. All right. So the other one I want to show you is if you wanted to fill this with one whole design. So maybe I did a little tree. Let me find my little tree back here. Are these individual? Maybe it's back. I did have a little tree at one point by itself. Not that one. Well, let me go back. I will borrow this tree here. And in my properties, let's find that one. I'm going to separate it. There we go. And I'm just going to borrow one of these trees. Ungroup. This one came from another tree that I was using. You can use really any tree. Let's paste that here and bring it up here. So one of the things you can do very easily is you can fill this with a shape by selecting your tree. And then I just want to select this part here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that part first and then this. And then I'm going to right click, go to my array. And right here it says create fill from shapes. So I'm going to click here and it filled it in for me with one click. Then over here, I have options to change the spacing. So I can change the spacing. I can change the vertical spacing. They can be further apart. I can change the type of fit. Maybe a circular fit is better. And then I might want to change the spacing the other way. Or I might want to rotate my item. So you have options here to do that. One of the things when I use this feature, see how we have a lot of little things out here? Once I have my design where I want it, you can come down here and you can do separate to objects. Once you do that, all these little trees are their own little thing. So, well, they're grouped right now. I'm going to ungroup them. And then I can go around here and delete all these little parts that I don't want. Whoops, deleted the wrong part. So sometimes you can go through your sequence window here and just select and delete. It's a little bit easier. I think I lost one of my layers, but I'm going to show you how to get that back. All right, are these all my little trees? There we go. So see how there's holes here? When I picked this one right here, I should change this to remove overlaps to never. And then, I don't know where my other, is it this one? Nope, that became artwork for some reason. Let's make it a net fill. I'm going to move it to the top. So let's do this. I'm going to right click here, order, move to back of design. I'm going to move it ahead of this one, net fill. There it is. It's back to its normal. And we have everything in the order we're going to stitch it. This tree can be deleted on the side, but you can see here, we are doing the base layer, the top layer, and then our trees. And that's using the array fill option. Okay. Same thing with the ornament with where, let's go back to this one. The trees, I did a fill in a line to go across here. When you use array fill, you have option of a line, so you could put them in a line. These, I just drew lines and filled them with satin. Here I used some lettering. There's dots. You can do the dots as well. The last one I want to show you is this one here, to use the array, the floral fill, because I think this is really a cool thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, we're this way maybe, and we're going to make this one. Let's see, this is about almost a 3-inch circle. So I'm going to select my circle, click and drag, and then I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to make sure that it is, let's make it 2.8 and 2.8, or you can make it 3. There we go. So there's my circle. I'm going to change my circle to a green color. And the reason I'm doing that is I want my vine to be green. And when you do that, it picks up the color, this color here, as your background, as your vine. So that's why I want to do that. And then I don't need this outline, so I'm going to delete the outline because I just need the fill. And then I'm going to make well, we'll just fill it first, and then we'll change it to the red dots. So you come down here to array, create floral, and then you can just pick any flower and a leaf that you like and hit OK. Did I get a flower and a leaf? There we go. And it fills it in for you. And at this point, you're going to go to your properties, and you can change how many levels. Maybe you only want 3 levels here, and it will take some things off. I'll fix this in a minute. You can change the curvature, the length, all of these things, the rotation, and then where you plant this can be changed with stitch flow. So if I really want it to come from over here, I can do that. But sometimes when you use stitch flow, you have to work at getting your vine back in there in a shape that you like. So you can play around with the vine. I'm going to go back to where it was originally. I liked that, but I may just move it over here slightly. Oh, maybe it just needs to be. Oh, no. There we go. So now we're all inside there. Now I want to change the flowers to these dots, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my dot. And one of the things too, based on what size these flowers are, can make your flowers bigger or smaller over here under scale. And then I'm going to create my little dot, and it's going to, oh, why did it do that? Let me do this. Okay. Oh, I had that selected. Let me go away from there. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. I'm going to make my little dot. I'm going to delete the outline because I don't need an outline on it. And then I'm going to select my dot. Come up here to select the dot. And I'm going to select all of the vine. If I can get it. There we go. I'm going to right click and right down here where it says array. Now I have more options. So I can add shapes as flower or shapes as the leaf. So I want to add the shapes as the flower. And there it changed to the dot. From here, you can change, maybe you wanted, like over here, it's behind the leaf. Over here, you can give the whether you want it above or you want it centered or below. So you have options there to play with that. Okay, so once you get this done, you may see now I lost my background that I had earlier, so I will have to put that back in, but that's okay. I can work around that. Now that I have this, I can delete this part here, and I can go back where these are. Let's get these two pieces up here. This one and this one. And I'm going to copy paste them, and I'm going to bring them over here and make them a little bit bigger this way and this way. Move them to before the flower. This one, this has to be changed here to remove overlaps never, but you don't see it here because we have to separate it. Okay, so once I separate it, and once you're separated, everything is its own little piece. So you have to remember that once you separate. So it's going to separate, and then I'm going to change this to never. And now you see those holes have disappeared. That part that's behind here is this. This is just the, let me see, I don't think I have anything else that fill color if I delete it. It's just the graphic, it's actually artwork from behind there. So you can actually delete it if you don't want it. So now the only thing I've left to do is add these two pieces here, and my little floral vine is ready. So not so hard. Let me get the camera back on. I'm going to look to see if there's any questions, so I can check the time at this one, about half hour. Everybody's been pretty good. I know I have some questions. Bridget has some, and another. Oh, I see. Somebody answered there. Okay, so I'll have to check those after because I have to convert it. It won't, for some reason, it's not converting while it's making comments. I don't know why. Anybody else have comments or questions about doing the ornaments? Now I do them on a wash away stabilizer. So this is actually an old stabilizer that I have. This is wash away sticky, and I have a lot of it, and it's not sticking anymore to the paper. So typically when you use a sticky, you would put an X and release it. I've just been cutting it, peeling off that paper, which actually falls off, and then doing all of it. But they make wash away that's not sticky. So depending on your design, if you have a really thick design, you want to add 2 layers of this wash away stabilizer. Okay, and if it's thinner and there's not a lot to it, this one isn't too bad. I'm going to hold this one up again in front here so you can see. You can kind of see it has a little bit of a shine to it. Now I need to, these are not pressed. You can see they're a little wobbly. After you wash them and dry, you have to rinse them and dry them. You want to lay them down with a cloth above them and just press them flat, and they'll be nice and flat. And it's up to you if you like a wider border on there, however you like that. But isn't that fun? I mean, creating this vine with the dots on it are really cool. You could put other little things on there. I know Peter Barrett, he's put little airplanes on his, and other people have, you could put little gingerbread men and things like that. So kind of fun. Now, speaking of gingerbread men, I'm going to quickly show you. I'm working on one that's the shape of a gingerbread man. So let me go back to my software and I'll open up the Ginger Me. There we go. So this design is actually a graphic from Daily Art Hub. I brought it in and I created an outline. And from my outline, I created the parts I needed. So there's my outline that I started. These are my 2 layers. And then I made his eyes. I put his little clothes on there, his mouth, and then the final outline here. I do need to do a hanger. So you can use other shapes and still have so much fun. Now, sometimes when you're working, if you have any gaps or any strange spots in your outline that you do, let me see if I can copy paste this again and make it a satin cereal down at the bottom here. And put it off to the side so we can see it. There we go. So on this one, let me make my satin cereal wider. And here I like to use millimeters. So it's 2.0. Let's look and see. So he looks pretty good. Oh, right here. See how there's a gap right here? See this little part? So one thing you can do is select your outline. You could go to edit stitches, but you have to move all those little stitches. So before I do that, I'll go to my nodes, and there's a couple of nodes on top of each other. I might want to delete one or two. There we go. And now it has a little weird shape. So you just have to move your little arrows back in line to get everybody lined up where they should be. Here we go. Maybe I'll take this one out because I don't think I need it. There we go. So let's get these going. There we go. See how that just smoothed itself out? Always do your nodes first, and then if you have to do stitches last. I think that just makes a lot better sense on that part of it. Let's see what else. Let me go back to the camera. Everybody's pretty quiet. I hope you're all still there. And let's get the camera back on. All right, there we go. So if you comment later, I will come back and answer. I'm going to I'll be bringing some of the videos that I've done over the past probably 3 or 4 weeks back over to the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. So they'll all be in one group. Coming up next week, we have a whole series again of videos from Tuesday through Friday. I think I have a special one on Thursday next week where we're going to embroider on toilet paper. So some of you have done that already, but some of us haven't done it, and I want to show you how to do it. So we're gonna do a little bit of that. And you know, you never know, maybe you need to do a little gag gift on there too. And upcoming, we have this one upcoming too. Do you see my earrings back here? We're going to be making some earrings. It's an upcoming video, so watch for that. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Marty. This is very much like the cards, and you can see I have the cards back here. Right, we did cards yesterday. Yeah, very much the same. I changed density in the cards instead of a net fill. So over here, I did the net fill. But as I said, you can use any shape, so you don't have to do a round shape. You could actually, you know how some of the ornaments have that really pretty shape and come to a point? You could do that as well, and then add bars of color in there. I think that would be really pretty as well. Like my gingerbread, that would be good. So really any shape, you can do a tree shape. I don't know. Let me go back. I have one more I want to quickly show you here because this one, oh, wait, let me go back to this one here. So this started out as a graphic, and when it converted everything except for that net, and I just drew a net fill behind it and a net behind my star. So this is actually a graphic from Daily Art Hub. How cool is this one? This is going to be really pretty to stitch out. I can't wait to get that one done. You know, as I do them, it's funny because once you start, once you start, it's hard to stop. So all right, everyone. So enjoy making your ornaments. Make sure you post your makes to our Janome Artistic Digitizer page or the classroom page so that we can see what you're working on. I love to see what other people are doing with the ornaments and using that net fill option behind there. I think that really, I mean, you can really go to town making so many different things. These are simple ones I started with, but I know many of you will take it to 3 other levels from there. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me in the studio. And we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.